I
Oh,
have
no.
got a very important presentation to be giving.
Oh, good lord.
Very
How to beat your backlog from chump to Chad.
Audio listeners, I'm so sorry.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the HGO podcast. I'm one of your hosts today, Ethan, and joining me as always are my good friends Kyle
Hello.
and Hunter. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing just swell.
It's a new season of the HGO podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Come on in. The water's fine. We're doing great. We're ready to vibe. It's a refresh, guys. I shaved. The homeless beard is gone. I did it. I couldn't find my beard trimmer, so I just had to go all 20-year-old, and literally everybody in my life has been like, damn, undo. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I know, I look like I'm fucking 12 again, but please leave me alone. But how you guys doing? You doing all right?
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
doing
dude.
just dandy.
You finally finished Final Fantasy VII, Hunter, so congratulations to
I
you.
did,
You
and
finished it in a normal period of time.
Doing that has like ruined my sleeping pattern.
In a good way, like
no,
just
like
from
I finished.
overplaying?
No.
So I got to the final 2 chapters on like Tuesday, and I'm like, cool, I might be able to finish this by then. Grossly underestimating how ridiculous Square Enix likes to be at the end of their games.
These games are like the regular chapters are like 5 hours long. What are you doing, dude?
And chapter 13 is like 20 hours in itself.
No, don't tell me that, dude. I'm gonna be here forever.
Dude.
Oh,
so
no.
I stopped before I even got to the end of chapter 13, being like, okay, tomorrow for sure, and it still took me till like 3 a.m. So
of course it did.
I've just been not recovering, or I've been recovering for the past 2 days, where I slept most of yesterday and then didn't wake up until
whenever, I guess.
You'll never know.
You'll never know.
I didn't wake up until like
he didn't wake up. Hunter's not even here right now.
The end. Season 5 is a bit different.
Hunter. Yeah. This has all been a dream.
Yeah. I didn't wake up until like real late today either. It was stupid, and I blame Final Fantasy for it.
You've got it done. I'm nowhere near. I'm 60 hours in and I'm still in chapter 11, so I'm going to be vibing for a while. But yeah, welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome to a new season of the HGO podcast. If you're new here, welcome on in. Come on in. We talk about video games and stuff, I guess. I don't know. This year's going to be fun. What video games? Maybe we'll diverge. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, new season, new us, I guess. Yes, we've changed the podcast thumbnail. Yes, we've changed some other things. You'll just get used to it. Everything is practically the same. Hopefully, it gives me a reason to try and make this a higher quality product. I can't promise you, but I will try for the first few weeks at least. That's my guarantee. This week, we're talking all about backlog games because we're going to be playing a lot of old games this year, I feel. Like I say, there's a sprinkling of new content, but let's be real here. It's not going to be anywhere near the level of 2023 this year, so we're going to have to dig into our backlogs.
The year before, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know what you're on about, Hunter. I can't wait to play Luigi's Mansion 2 again. Well, I lie, 30% of Luigi's Mansion 2 again and then stop like I always do. It's going to be great. But yeah, I mean, let's get started, right? Because I feel like where I want to start with this is I hate gaming backlogs. I don't know about you guys, but I just hate having this pile of games that not only do I like that keeps ever growing, but I know that like 50% of them I'm never gonna want to play like ever, and it just keeps mounting up and up and up. I just really don't like them, so I try to avoid it as much as possible. I don't know about you, because like Kyle, I know you literally dip your toe into anything, right? Where it's like most of the time, it's more of a recent thing for you to be playing so many games on release. Like you just play whatever you feel like playing most of the time, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, last year was the year I had tried to like break out into more genres I hadn't been into a lot. Like I started last year with the Dead Space remake, which is before doing this show. That's something I never would have considered, but. Yeah, I do like to spread myself around.
I mean, Hunter goes everywhere. I mean, look at him. Like he's got his finger in all the pies, dude. Like
it's true. With gaming tastes like mine, you're never bored.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about our backlogs today, games that we hope to get through. This is not a promise. We're not going to berate each other at the end of the year. But if you do want to make notes, guys, and then berate us at the end of the year, feel free. I'd love a good berating, to be honest. Like, I'm kind of in the mood for one. So we'll see what happens. We're going to talk about games that we want to play. And hopefully, by the end of this year, we'll at least have played some of them. That's the idea. Will we? Let's find out, I guess. But before we get started, I have got a bit of a guide, because how the frick are we supposed to know how to beat a game in Backlog, boys? Let's be real here.
It's so true, bestie.
So true. So, what you'll find, and no peeking, you've got to go through this with me right now. Go into your Discord DMs, boys, because I have got a very important presentation to be giving at the start of season 5 of the HGO presentation.
Podcast. Okay, this is
it's a first time for anything, okay?
This
I
is
want you
better
don't check
than-
the tabs. Don't check the tabs.
Okay.
We are going to be doing how to beat your backlog from chump to Chad. A very important slideshow by me, in brackets a Chad, okay? This is very important. I'm going to teach you
Audio listeners, I'm so sorry.
how to backlog. No, don't worry. I've made this presentation available for audio listeners too. You can hear my voice. I'm going to narrate it all. So you better be in full screen, guys, because I have done animations. Yep. Let's press the first tab. Let's go over. How do you beat a backlog, boys? How would you do it? Right, well, wow, that's a cool image of Neocortex with scales, that is. That's pretty cool.
Oh, damn.
You play games, you idiots. Of course, that's what you do. It's as simple as that. But in this presentation, I will give you 5 extremely useful tips to beat your backlog. Let's see how a Chad handles this monumental task and see how you can get better at beating your backlog. Very important, guys. Okay. Tip number 1. Don't play JRPGs. Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
RPGs are cringe. RPGs take over 100 hours to play. You don't want to look like this person. Why play 3 100-hour games when you can play every other game in your backlog instead? Chads respect their time, unlike this loser. Hang on, Hunter, you can have your questions at the end. Once we show you this JRPG loser, JRPG chump over here, make sure, there we go, look at him. You just hate him. Hunter, you've got a question?
What is the game that you are currently playing, and what was the game you were playing right before that?
I'm sorry, please hold your questions till the end of the presentation. Wow, Jack.
Why have you not finished the game you're playing?
Jack's
looking the one before that.
Jack's looking a bit like a chump there.
Before that?
Don't play JRPGs. Anyway, please save your questions. Maybe this next slide, Hunter, will answer your questions. Tip number 2. Play JRPGs, guys, okay? Because Chads...
I'm getting conflicting messages.
Chads don't take 100 hours to beat JRPGs, okay? They run through Button Valley and Xenoblade Chronicles 1 in less than 20 hours and beat the game.
He's got a point.
Don't let any chumps tell you what to play. Wow, that's a pretty cool-looking JRPG fan over there, guys. That's pretty cool. Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Who did you superimpose yourself over?
Please leave all questions to the end of the podcast.
Because it kind of looks like Virgil, but I can't tell.
Chad, tip number 3. Don't play old games, guys. There's Aku Aku. He's smiling because he knows it's true. It's scientifically proven, guys, that old games rot your brain, okay? And also, did you know, games get taken off your backlog by the government automatically if they're older than 15 years old. That's true. You don't have to worry about them. For more info, there you go. You can look up the 2009 section of the Gamer Act, dude. That's very scientific. Why play a classic game when you can play Crash Team Rumble? It's true. Question?
No one's going to be able to play Crash Team Rumble in a few months.
Better get out your backlog then, you know what I mean? Get it out. Also, the source is cited from this epic presentation is the source for the first scientific fact, okay? Just making that clear. Okay, right. Chad, tip number 5. Play games like there's an Action Button review coming out. This one makes sense, okay? There's a photo of Tim Rogers. You know, I'm a fan of Tim Rogers.
Why did you go from 3 to 5?
Please save all questions till the end of the podcast. When I struggle to play games, I act like there's a Tim Rogers Action Button review coming out the next week. I can never resist, I don't know about you guys, a 6-hour video review on a video game. Just can't do it. So pretend it's coming, await its arrival, play the game, or just wait for the review. You know, you can do either, to be honest. Don't play it. I just wait, to be honest. Probably get more out of it. Tip number 4, because Ethan got the slides in the wrong order.
Good work,
Look
Ethan.
at that. Always play your favourite games first. Makes sense, doesn't it? Keep playing good games until you get what a Chad calls a shitty backlog. Then you don't even have to worry, because all those games you don't want to play, just get rid of them. You're good. There you go. Job done.
I thumb through this slide, the Yakuza GIF just keeps freezing until
That's a
I
Google
thumb
Slides
forward through
issue,
it.
not an Ethan issue, okay? Mine's working fine. Remember
Whatever
to take
you
breaks
say.
between large franchises. Not playing games is better than running out. It's true. That is legitimate. That's a legit fact, though, okay? You take that bit to heart, okay? Simple as that. Majima's coming out of a grate, because why not? There we go. Tip number 6 out of 5. Keep buying new games, okay? Who needs a backlog when you can waste money buying more games you don't need? Fun fact, buying games when they are cheap is employed by the government to sell
Yeah, it's true.
If you buy new games, you can put off your backlog, hopefully long enough for the 2009 game
Cowboy hat.
Season 5, everyone.
There's a graph. There's the scientific evidence, dude. Look, you see, bathroom sales go up when cheap game sales go up, dude. It's true.
Citation needed.
Chad, tip number 7. Bin games off, okay? If you don't like a game, stop playing it. Even if the platinum trophy is easy, it's not worth your time. Seriously, stop playing it. I mean, but guys, it is only another 10 hours. I mean, come on. I mean, what else am I going to do? Play a game I really like? That's a nice platinum. Good job, gamers. Backlog progress complete. We did a good job.
I'm actually going to give this one to you. Giving up on things is very underrated. It's very okay to just give up on something you're not enjoying.
I 100% agree.
If you don't
I 100%
like it, stop.
agree. Damn right, guys. Damn right. Tip number 8. Don't replay games. Look at that fox, okay? I've seen enough of this fucker. I've seen enough. Stop replaying games. Play a fucking new one. Like maybe AI the Somnium Files in a horror initiative. I don't know. Maybe just play it in Discord for your friends as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, why am I even bothering saying this and making an inside joke? He's not going to watch this fucking podcast, but you know, I thought it'd be funny to do it anyway. And then finally, guys, Chad tip number 9 out of 5, remember. Don't be Jack. Play more than one game a year. Play anything you enjoy. Don't talk about Smash 4. And you too can be a Chad. Backlog be damned, dude, okay? Don't be Jack. Play games. Have fun. Do a spin. Be a Chad, dude. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much, okay? There we go. Does anyone have any questions? I feel like we covered everything there. I feel like we covered a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. I did spend well over 2 hours making that presentation. And it was very much worth the time.
That was funny. It tickled me. I enjoyed it.
This was very good, dude.
Yeah, so there we go.
And it's very on brand that you brought up Tim Rogers, because for one of the games on my list, or actually a couple of the games on my list.
One of them on my list is also about that. But there you go. Now you know how to beat your backlog and not be a chump, dude. It's as simple as that. Let's talk about backlogs then. I hope joke's over, kids. Joke's over. It's now time to actually talk about backlog games. Where do you want to start? Has anyone got a game that they have been eyeing up, that they have been waiting for this moment? Because I feel like the past year, we have just been sitting in video game after video game after video game. No breaks, no stop on the tray. Is anyone eyeing up something now that they're really... You know, now it's slowing down, now they're ready to play. I know you've got, like, other games that you're going to play Hunter soon anyway, but, you know, ignore that. What have you got? What do you want to play, Hunter? What have you got on your list of backlog games?
So, one of the ones that's been... I bought it a while ago, if not even put it into the PlayStation or anything of the sort. Nier Replicant. I would really like.
This is on my list.
Really?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I also bought this game
it
and
was
never
just
played
hanging
it.
out. I was just passing through the the one game store that isn't GameStop that's around me, and saw it, and I was like, well, I'm here. I'm gonna play this eventually. Picked it up and haven't made the time to play it, and I want to because I liked Nier Automata a lot. So I would like to play the first one.
I'm the same way. I picked it up super cheap because I liked Nier Automata enough. I've been always meaning to go back and play Nier Automata to actually like it properly. But I liked it. I was like, yeah, I'll pick up Nier Replicant. It was super cheap, and it has just been sitting on my shelf like for 4 years, probably since this podcast started. To be honest with you, like when did it come out?
It came out in 21.
Yeah,
yeah.
So literally it was the end of 21. So it's been like 2 and a bit years probably that it's been on my shelf, just sitting there thinking about what it's done. I hope to get to it.
Like it's even in the classic, like not even properly shelved away. It's on like the little front part of the shelf where it's not like in sitting sideways. Like I'm going to play it sometime soon, but it's been like that since I got it. So
yeah, same. I just really want to get to it. I know, like it's been that long now that I feel like it's a pretty safe bet to assume that there's probably another Nier game coming relatively in the near future, in the next couple of years at least. So it's like
Yoko Taro just keeps making bank off of putting 2B in other video games. Maybe he feels like he won't need to.
Well, I feel like he just keeps putting 3s in all of his like Nier orchestras just to shit with people and go, no. It's actually just a funny meme, guys. The mobile game's the 3rd game, am I right? Well, hey, like I just feel like he's just gonna keep doing it. But now I've always wanted to. It's an interesting game. Obviously, originally we got Gestalt instead of, and it's like now Replicant is like what Japan got, and it's like, okay, cool. I'm interested in playing it. I hope that I have a chance to play it. I'm not gonna lie. We did joke about JRPGs there for a second. I am kind of burnt out on JRPGs or Japanese games, and like because I feel like that's all I've been playing for a little bit now. So I am like, oh man, I'd love to play some other kinds of games right now, but then I'm looking at my backlog list and 90% of it is JRPGs, and I'm like, oh no, woe is me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, Nier Automata is a game that started to come onto my radar as well.
I'm surprised you haven't played it.
I'm glad that after 5 years of me talking about it around you, it's finally starting to pique your interest.
Look, man. I can't tell you how my brain works. I got to the part of FF14 where they had the Nier Automata collab, and I'm like, this shit seems kind of interesting. Yeah. Maybe just maybe we'll give it a looky-loo at some point.
It's fun, and it's like
it's a cool game.
I like it. The hardest sell to a lot of my friends when I've tried to sell people on Nier Automata is the fact that everybody ends up hearing that you have to do multiple playthroughs and all that jazz, and that really and I'm like, trust me, it does change. It's different. It's not just doing a play, but it's the beauty of Nier Automata is you play the game, you replay it, and you the same thing as a new person, like as a different character, and then you just play it again, and then it's like completely different. It's like that game, if you did not know that, just expects you to just play the whole game again and then go one more time and then hit new game again, like a crazy.
It's like
one more in me.
It's like if Resident Evil 2 had a third scenario that came after beating Leon and Claire's.
Yeah, it's I think it's well
that
worth.
Wasn't 15 minutes long. I should specify because there's a hidden one.
Yeah, no, I 100% think that you would at least try to play it, Cal, because I feel like it seems like a game that is kind of up your like kind of. I feel like it's in your ballpark. I feel like you might enjoy it. I don't know if you'll necessarily. I don't know. I feel like the story might be one or the other with you, but I feel like from a gameplay perspective, I feel like that is up your alley definitely with the way that Nier plays. It's a fun time.
I mean, like not knowing anything about the story, I can tell you that it's probably going to go because it's robots. It's probably about robots learning the meaning of life because that seems to be the only story people do with robots. But
how dare you suggest that Japanese games use common themes and simple premises, Kyle? I hate you. Will you please stop ruining video games? Thank you very much. Who knows what it's about? All I know it's about is there's a robot called 2B, and that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, she was in Soul Calibur.
Yeah, that's true. She was in Fall Guys, guys. Everyone knows that. Come on.
Yeah.
That's the
She's
the
in
real
Grand
collab.
Blue.
She's in everything. But
she's right behind you.
Oh God, no. Maybe we'll get to them eventually. Kyle, you were talking about Tim Rogers. What games do you have on your Tim Rogers list of things you need to play before watching a 6 million year review, or after watching a 6 million year review?
So this is a game that's been on my list for quite a while, and Tim Rogers eventually doing his video on it is kind of what's pushing it further up my list. But it's Final Fantasy IV on the Super Nintendo.
That's shocking that you haven't played that one before.
Yeah, it's the only one of the SNES trilogy I haven't played. And that's mostly just from not really having a place a good place to play it on. Because before it was only available on like Virtual Console, and I just never got it. And now Virtual Console's closed.
But there are the Pixel remasters, so that's easy.
Correctamundo.
If you only wanted to buy that one, you could.
Buy it individually, yeah.
Yeah.
No. That does surprise me that there is an old Final Fantasy game that you haven't played, Kyle, to be honest. I don't know why I just made that assumption, but I'm just like, oh, yeah, Kyle's... In my head, Kyle, you've played like all of them. In my head, you're just like, you've played all of them, probably other than 13 Trilogy, because you didn't have a PS3. So I'm just like,
that is true.
You've probably played all the
others. I've played over half of them. Definitely beaten at least half of them. But no, from like the old Final Fantasy era, it's like 2, 3, and 4 are the ones I haven't played at all. 9 I never beat. I got about halfway. 10 I gave up pretty early on. 10 and 12 I gave up pretty early on. I might go back to those at some point.
Maybe.
And I've never had a way to play 13.
4 is one that if I were to go back and play like an older one, is the one, like really old one, I should say, like one that predates myself. That's the one I would pick of the first 5 that I've not messed with.
And I'll just stick to my guns and play the modern games because I'm very happy not having to do homework. I don't know. Yeah. It's like, it's fun. If I ever, I feel like everybody else have been to Play Asia at some point in the past year and have looked at that Legacy Collection physical cartridge that's like $80 or something and gone, it might be worth it. Maybe one day, but then every time I'm like, Ethan, you can't even play like Final Fantasy 7. Never mind anything before that. Like, you get bored with 7. Like, let's just draw the line. No, you might probably. Let's be real. I probably will never play any of them. But
I mean, I think you should like at least try them at some point. I think me personally, I like seeing where the games came from, like how they got their start. But I understand that's not necessarily your thing.
I do, but I also could very much just have Tim Rogers tell me that for 6 hours in a video, and I'll be perfectly happy doing that before playing it. But one thing that Tim Rogers will force me to play is LA Noire, because that is a game that has been on my list for 6 bajillion years, and I think that's his next review, so I was like, oh, darn it, I finally have to play this bugger. And it's sad, because it's like, I've heard nothing but great things. One of my best friends, it's their favourite game of all time. They absolutely adore LA Noire. And I'm like, that's great. I've been putting off this game for so many years because it is yet again one of those games like Heavy Rain, which I have been on the internet. I know the ending because someone spoiled it to me on Twitter like 16 million years ago, right? I know what the ending is. I don't know anything else other than the final 5 minutes of the game, but I know that 5 minutes. So it's like, I've just been like, I'll get to you eventually.
To be fair to this game, surely the time getting to that ending has to be more fun than Heavy Rain.
Probably Jason.
Because Heavy Rain is not as good as people like to act like it was. David Cage is a hack. Thank you. That is all.
It was never good. You were just all tripping. But yeah, I assume it is. I love mysteries. I love murder mysteries, dude. So
they're real good.
I also really like, period pieces. So I'm like, that sounds interesting to me, like a crime thriller. That sounds like fun. It's just knowing where the story ends up. I'm like, oh, that sucks. I don't know any of the solutions to any of the cases, but I know where it ends up. So I've always just been like, I'll play something I know nothing about first, and then just keep pushing it back and back and back. But this year, I think I will finally play it because Tim Rogers is going to force me to watch a 6-hour video, so I might as well play it first. Good time. Why not? We'll see how it goes. It's not that old, but it looks older than it is. It's like it's the Xbox 360 PS3 generation.
Yeah, the PS3 generation will do that.
They've aged like milk. They look older than they actually are. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I think it could be fun, and if not, what have I got to lose? I know the ending anyway.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Hell yeah!
And now to have Tim Rogers not make a video on either of those this year.
That would be funny.
Imagine me sitting there waiting for the next.
You both doing homework and it never happens. That'd be funny.
Please,
the homework's not for another 2 years.
I studied for this test. How could you?
Please. Oh dear.
He's gonna do like Simpsons Hit and Run or something.
The sad part is when he'll do a video on Persona 2 and I'll be finally forced to acknowledge that the games before 3 exist, and I'm like, oh no. Oh well. We'll see. Hunter, well, give us something else.
So the next up on this list are one of a couple that slipped through my fingers last year because last year just didn't quit with the things that were coming out. So I didn't have the chance to play everything. Armored Core 6 looks like a game that I'll really like. I like wacky action and the notion of being able to create your stupid mechs and whatever pleases me.
Dude, Armored Core was so fun. I really loved that game, dude.
I love how Hunter is just doing From Software any game that isn't Elden Ring percentage. Like he is just literally like, I will not touch that game until I have to touch that game.
Look, dude, Elden Ring's a commitment.
I mean, I guess I can just get that out of the way here. Elden Ring's also on this list.
Oh no, he's gonna play it. I take it back. I was joking. Don't do it. I can't deal with another Elden Ring podcast.
Don't worry. I don't feel like I'll have to talk about it very much on the podcast. To be fair, we've said most of anything that could be said about it, but I probably will play that this year because, need a big gap for games that big, and big gap is all that's existing after June. So
it is interesting because it's like Shadows of the Erdtree comes out at the end of June, and it's like I remember a couple of weeks ago I was like,
I don't even know if I care about that.
I don't know if I care about it. I probably won't play it. But then seeing the Persona 3 Reload expansion pass shit, and then realizing that they're trying to charge like $5 less for that, and I'm like, you're telling me for $5 more I could play Shadow of the Erdtree? It's probably going to be like an entire Elden Ring game again. I'm like,
Elden Ring 2.
You kind of tempted me with this DLC now, just because other people's DLC is so
I like how
expensive.
Atlas has retroactively marketed the Elden Ring DLC to you, but
it has. It looks like it. Like I'm like, I will probably have more fun. It'll probably be more. We'll see. Like weighing it up.
I'm not one to care about DLC usually, so I probably won't play the Erdtree or whatever. But I will probably get through Elden Ring sometime this year because, I liked the 10 or so hours I played when it came out. I think I'll probably like the rest of the game.
I definitely enjoyed it.
Are you gonna pick up from the same save file, or
of course
start a new build?
You absolute monster! Yeah. I hate you so much, like genuinely. Man's like,
why would I start over?
Because you spent 2 years
to remember how to play Elden Ring.
You're telling me you don't want to hear that guy go, "Rise, foul, tarnished, you shall not sing now." Why
Listen,
not?
Starting over is for cowards, and this is why people don't. And this is why people don't go back to games that they stopped on a lot of times. Is because I should get back to it, but I already played 10 hours. Who cares? Just start from where you are. You don't have to play the other stuff again.
Shit. Absolute psycho shit.
If I were to start Tales of Vesperia, which 4 years ago I played about 10 hours of, I would also pick that up from where I was.
No, you will not. I will not allow it. We've been doing this podcast for 4 years. I will call you out on your shit. You will fucking vile human being.
It's time to pick back up my FF9 playthrough.
No, that's the spirit.
No. See how badly I ballsed up my save file.
Dude, I'm checking the 2009 Gamer Act. This can't be legal, dude. This can't be legal.
Oh, man, it feels like I should have a Kit Kat on hand to really trigger you now, too.
Don't you fucking dare. I mean, while we're talking from,
unfortunate.
While we're talking from, well, I'll mention it. The Dark Souls trilogy is on my list of backlog games this year. I want to at least play one Dark Souls game by the end of this year because, you know, I've owned them for a while. I've played them in such a weird order. I played Bloodborne for this podcast, and then I played Elden Ring when it came out, and then I was like, let's stop right there.
That's enough.
That's enough for now.
I mean, honestly, stopping at Bloodborne is valid.
Yeah, and we're never going to get a Bloodborne remaster or sequel or anything.
Because PlayStation hates us.
Might as well,
Yo, hear me out, dude.
Play
the PlayStation 1 Bloodborne D-make.
I swear that got was it that or was it Bloodborne Kart that got cease and desist and now they've had to rename it to something else?
I think it was Bloodborne Kart that got that.
Rest in peace, Bloodborne Kart. We shot
R.I.P.
Not R.I.P.
You were probably better than Mario Kart 2.
Yeah, probably. But no, I feel Dark Souls is finally, it's finally time for Dark Souls. It's finally time for me to at least give one of them a try. And it'd probably be one, and I'll probably have a good enough time. Maybe I'll stream it. It feels like a game where I just want to sit back and chill and vibe with it. But I don't know.
You could go full chaotic and start with 2.
Oh, well, here's the thing: 2 is the one that I've seen the most of. I've watched the most videos. I've watched the most friends play it. I've watched the most streams of it. I feel like I'm going to be one of those weird little sick freaks that's going to love Dark Souls 2. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to sit there and go, "Oh, this is dumb. I love it," because I love stupid stuff. So everybody hates Dark Souls 2 because it's like, it's the middle child. It's the odd one of the family, right? And it's like, to me, I'm like, oh, I love stupid shit though. I love the fact that like you have to I think I can't remember what it is. It's your movement, like your dodge roll, upping that, leveling that up. Actually, it increases your invincibility frames, which is the only game that does that. So it's like, stupid shit like that. I'm like, that's dumb. I love it. Maybe I will enjoy this game quite a bit. I don't know. I feel like I'll like it. But that's such a massive commitment, dude. That's such a massive commitment.
Really
I don't think the first one is really that long, to be honest.
It'll be like 30, 40 hours, but it's still like, it's enough for me to go and look at it twice before like do a double take and go, do I really want to play you straight away? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Bloodborne, like Dark Souls would be interesting to try out.
It would.
After I beat Elden Ring last year, I did try and play Demon Souls. And let me tell you, going from Elden Ring to Demon Souls is very jarring.
It's like having all the toys out of the toy box, right? And then then your mum just goes, "Nah, put that all away," and you're like, "Here's your mystery machine," and you just have the mystery machine. No other toys are available now, and you're like, "What am I supposed to do with this? Like, can you at least give me the Scooby figure so I can at least play some or something?" No, just the mystery machine. It's like, okay, cool. I guess I'll make
no
do.
Legos for you. Only Etch a Sketch.
Here's a Ninja Turtle to go with it.
Oh yeah, you're like, oh,
mix and match the sets.
Yeah, and it feels like, to me, I feel like Demon Souls is probably going to be the one I play last if I ever do. Like, I'll probably do Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, then Sekiro, and then back to Demon Souls, just because it's a bit janky, and it's like, the Blue Point remake's fantastic, but the jank is still there at its core. It's the same game, so it's like,
I will say this though, if for anyone who's ever wanted to play a Souls game on easy mode, play Elden Ring and then play any other Souls game. It will be night and day.
Just get good, dude. Just get good. You know what I'm saying? Just get good. It's as simple as that. Kyle, what else is on your list?
Speaking of games that came out last year from Hunter, what he brought up earlier, our good friend Hi-Fi Rush is coming out soon on PlayStation. And man, I'm excited to play it. I'm real excited to play this video game.
I'm excited for you because it's a great video game. I've been tempted. I've been eyeing it up. I don't have money right now because like I've got like March is an expensive month for me because it's like it's Mother's Day. It's my dad's birthday at one point. I've had to have new tires on my car. I've had to go for my subscription services for a load of TV stuff all renew in March. So it's like I'm like £700 down, and I'm like, I really do not.
The website renewed.
The website. I cannot justify spending $35 on Hi-Fi Rush right now, but I kind of wanna, and that's how you know it's a great game. I love Hi-Fi Rush. You're gonna have a blast with it. It's great.
Yeah.
And it's only like a week away. It's 2 days away now.
It should be out when this video goes up.
Yeah,
it will.
I think it's out on the 18th.
18th or 19th is one of them. It's out soon enough.
Yeah, and all the rest of you who don't have an Xbox could be playing it as we speak.
Yeah. Or you're waiting
unless
for that
you
Switch
only own
port.
a Switch.
Or your PC's didn't run it.
Yeah.
Like me.
That's crazy. But no, you'll have a great time. I love Hi-Fi Rush. It's great.
One of the best games of last year.
It is.
I'm expecting to have a great time with it.
I
will gladly put my Unicorn Overlord playthrough on hold to play that game.
Yeah.
Good luck if you're a completionist playing that game, though. I will say that.
I'm not.
I know you're not, but to the people out there,
I'm not. I won't have an issue.
That game wants you to do like 6 playthroughs and all that jazz. Like you have to play on every difficulty and all that jazz. So good luck to you.
Yeah, but the game's also short enough to where I feel like it can justify doing that.
If you say
it's like what, a 10-hour game?
It took me like 12 hours, I think, something like that. It's long enough.
I mean, it'd be shorter on the subsequent playthroughs.
Yeah, definitely. But you know,
it's
a very hard game. It gets hard very quickly. That's the thing.
Pretty sure.
But hey,
it'd be goofy for a hack and slash game to not let you keep your stuff going forward.
And that's the other thing. Like, I don't know shit about this game, dude. I've watched a couple cutscenes, but besides that,
it's got Robbie Damon in it.
I don't know.
Erica Lindbeck in it. It's got a cat called Bob.
Yeah. Nice.
808.
Bob.
Toys for 808.
Bob.
Toys for 808.
But no, I'm really excited for you to play Hi-Fi Rush. It's a fantastic game, and genuinely do play it if you are on PlayStation. You have any inclination to play it. Go play it.
Play it,
I feel like because here's the thing: Sea of Thieves is like the top pre-ordered game on PlayStation right now. No one's sleeping on Sea of Thieves because trust me, people have wanted Sea of Thieves for years on PlayStation. That game is gonna do stupid numbers, but I feel like Hi-Fi Rush is going to come under the radar, and I'm like, go on, play Hi-Fi Rush as well. It's fantastic. Xbox does have some good games. They really do. Hi-Fi Rush is fantastic. It's better than anything Sony put out last year. Fucking fight me on that one.
It's true.
Genuinely. It's fantastic. Hunter, what else have you got for us?
Well, I guess to complete my little duology of things that I missed last year. Mario RPG. I got it as my birthday Christmas present. One of them towards the end of last year, but I was firmly ensconced in Baldur's Gate at the time, so I didn't have time to. And then I caught a case of the dying during my holiday break, so I still didn't have time to. So, squeezing that sometime between now and when Paper Mario comes out will be fun because it's a short game. From everything I understand.
Yeah.
I'm interested to play Paper Mario because I've always wanted to play that.
It's also on my list of games to eventually play. I do own it, so I will play it. But it's also sitting in that unfortunate pile on the Nintendo Switch where I have about 6 or 7 physical Switch games that I just have now where I'm like, one day I might get bored enough to play you. Mario RPG is
the gifts of Christmas past.
They're genuinely the gifts of Christmas past. It's like Bayonetta 3 still haven't properly. I played it for like 30 minutes and went, yeah, this kind of doesn't feel as good as the others. Bye, and closed it. And then it's like, there's so much stuff that I have. What was that game called? Live Alive.
Kirby.
Like Live Alive. There's Mario RPG. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is still on there. So much stuff that I've just been meaning to play at some point and I just never have. I'm like, one day I will look at the Switch and go, I shall play you, hopefully. Maybe it'll be the Switch 2 if it's backwards compatible, because I might sit there. I don't know. I want to play it. It looks fantastic. I just don't know what it is
really fun
about the Nintendo Switch. I don't know if it is because it's like a 7-year-old system or if it's like I've got stuff to play on the PS5 or on PC or on the Xbox. But it's like, anytime I look at a Switch game...
You don't have stuff to play on the Xbox.
Yeah, bro,
you haven't turned your Xbox on.
Xbox.
You've thought about selling your Xbox.
I have a couple of games on Game Pass that I want to play. Shut the fuck up, okay? Shut the fuck up. I will not take this bullying anymore. I hate it here. I made you a nice presentation and this is how you treat me? What the fuck? Oh, I put so much effort into this podcast. What do I get? Fucking disrespect, dude. But no. There's something about the Switch, which I don't know what if it's because it's 7 years old now, or it runs like shit, or whatever have you, where I just like, it takes more effort for me to play games on the Switch than it used to. Like, any game that came on Switch, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah, I'll play that. And I'll play it straight away. Like, every indie game that came out in the first year on the Nintendo Switch, I was like, hell yeah, I'll play you, Celeste, get that in there. Stardew Valley, hell yeah. Now, I'm just like, you're telling me I have to play Super Mario RPG for 15 hours on the Switch? Like, I just sigh. I don't know why, but I want to play it.
Long.
Oh, good. Maybe it'll convince me even more.
It's like a 10-hour game at most.
Damn, even better, dude. Even better. But no.
But we should play it. Solid 10
we should
hours.
Play it.
You should play it.
You first.
I intend to.
Big fan.
It looks neat.
Big fan. That was my obligatory 6th place on Game of the Year last year.
I love obligatory placements.
And that's because I couldn't play Hi-Fi Rush.
Hell yeah.
I like how it's obligatory, but that was your idea.
Look, man. Sometimes we think we have a good idea, and then it doesn't work out.
Hell yeah. Do you know what I also thought was a good idea?
I also didn't want to put Tears of the Kingdom on my list last year.
That's true. That's true, dude. I want to continue my mission. Because last year, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start playing Yakuza, and I'm going to get really close to finishing this stuff. Like, I was like, I'm going to get so far, guys. I'm going to be ready for infinite wealth and everything. Spoiler alert, I didn't even get flipping close. So I played 3 Yakuza games last year. 1, 2, and 3. I'd already played 0. So my plan is to continue playing Yakuza. Whether that goes well or not, we'll find out. But I'm in the PowerPoint. I jokingly said it's better to not play hold off on playing games than just keep playing the same franchise. And I'm like, that's definitely a reference to Yakuza for me, because it's like, I love those games, but those games, as fantastic as they all are, it's the same fucking game every time. Fantastic, brilliant, wonderful game. Same thing every time, just a different story. I feel this playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth right now, where have I done this to myself by making this game already 60 hours and still not being done with it? Why, yes, I have. But you get kind of bored of beating shit up. Like, when combat encounters happen now in Rebirth, I'm like, I just want the stupid side story or the main plot, please. I don't want the 50-minute boss battle right now. And Yakuza's the same way, where it's like, yeah, it's really funny when you're in a sewer and a Yakuza guy's riding a motorbike shirtless screaming at you, and then you have a boss fight. That's dope as fuck. But I also really don't want to fight the same 3 thugs every corner as I'm trying to go from point A to point B, you know? That stuff kind of gets tedious over time. So I want to carry on this journey, but I'm not going to say something stupid like I did last time, where I'm like, I want to get through all of these. I'm going to hope that I get through another 3. That's my hope, as I get to the end of 6 by the end of the year. That is my goal.
That feels like it'd be a good place to, give yourself another break, because then you just have the 2 big old RPG ones left.
And don't forget the Gaiden one.
RPGs.
Don't forget the Gaiden one though, as well as the one.
Yeah.
So technically I'd have another 3 to play, and Judgment if I want to play Judgment. I kind of want to play Judgment. That is a detective game, and I love
Judgment's one that's been on my orbit of Greg Chun mysteries. I like those.
I just love mystery games. Dude. I just really I really like mysteries, and I don't know if it's because there's a sick and twisted part of me that Hunter, where I like to sit there and act smarter than the game and try and predict shit way too early and then ruin it for myself. But I kind of love that. It's kind of my thing. So
I mean, mysteries are the ones where I'll let myself do that. I try not to do that with other things. That way I don't ruin it for myself, but hey.
I was also thinking, because like last year, Raincode came out for Switch. I'm like, it's going to be a year. That game I feel like that game's going to get ported to PS5 and PC and stuff this year, probably. Because that's not going to stay on Switch. I'm like, might like that game more if I play it again on a console that runs it well. That might be nice, because half the problem with that game was, like, it just ran like shit, and I'm like, I could play that again. I just love mystery games, guys. I
And
just
the other half
genuinely
was the first half.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Maybe I'll like it more the second time onto it. Or maybe it's just my rose tinted glasses for games that, like, for some reason I shit on gameplay
Rose
more when I
tinted
play them.
glasses for a game that's like 6 months old.
Hell yeah, dude. What can you beat? But no, I'm going to continue my Yakuza pilgrimage, dude, as I venture forth.
Pilgrimage.
I do love Kiryu, though. He is fantastic. We'll see how far we get. To the end of 6, hopefully. We'll see. Kyle, have you got any other games on your backlog?
A couple, yeah.
Go for it. What's next?
For the short list of the backlog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so kind of on the topic of what I mentioned earlier of like seeing where games kind of got their start. One game I always, we all like Persona on this podcast, but one thing we've never talked about is
speak for yourself.
Yeah, dude, I know you couldn't even finish 3.
It's true.
What a baby!
I couldn't. I'm never getting back. Dude, a Greg Miller, dude. I'm just gonna forget about it now. I got close enough.
You see, and starting over is what killed him. By the way, if he would have just picked it up, you see, if he would have just picked it up from where he was, maybe he would have got far enough to get hooked. But no, he started over.
In his defense, he was starting Royal after playing base game. You could not carry your save over, Hunter. Okay, he didn't have a choice in that matter.
All right, fine, but
because Atlas is great.
We love Atlas.
If it was 2024, Atlas would have released Royal as a $50 DLC. That would have been better, guys. Come on, that would have been fantastic.
It's still cheaper than buying it again for 60.
Yeah, but it feel like less value than it just being a separate release. Anyway, Kyle, what have you got?
Persona. So about like a month ago, I had bought a few of Atlas's old PS2 games.
Oh no!
From the Shin Megami Tensei series.
Don't do it. No, you can't say that forbidden name around here. It doesn't exist.
I'm saying it. I'm saying it, dude. I know you're allergic to it, but but yeah, I picked up Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2, and I also picked up Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, the funny one with Dante in it.
Yeah,
the funny one. Yeah.
So I'm gonna try those games out. I know they're from Atlas's older days when they actually made their games like super fucking brutal to play.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think they stopped. Like, it's like, I feel like Shin Megami Tensei was the divide where the spin-offs like Soul Hackers 2, which isn't particularly fantastic, but like Persona and stuff like that. Now that they've separated them and haven't started putting like Shin Megami Tensei 5, I didn't necessarily consider it super hard, but I could definitely tell that it was a gameplay oriented, we're gonna fuck you if you don't know everything about this gameplay system kind of
absolutely.
Video game. 100%. Shin Megami Tensei is Atlas's version of a gameplay first video game, where it's like story kind of to the side. Some of them have good stories still, but it's like it's not like as embedded as like Persona, but it's just gameplay after gameplay. Like,
oh yeah,
get to the grind, dude. Can't beat this boss, spend 5 hours grinding, pussy. Just get to it. And I'm like, I don't know if I want that.
Like, I think that's a completely fair assessment, dude. I did try playing Nocturne a couple weeks back, and I think I got 3 hours in, and the second boss. So I got 2 bosses in. First boss, I cleared pretty easily. It was weak to a lightning. I had my dude and a couple of demons I had lightning. I'm like, okay, easy. I can steamroll this. The second boss had no weakness, and I crawled to the victory on that one. It was basically, I need to hit or I die at this point.
That's the spirit.
And then I got to the third dungeon, and I'm getting rolled by the regular enemies.
Oh,
and
no.
I'm like, it's one of these games. So I'm like, I'm just gonna put you away for a little bit. Unicorn Overlord's out in like a week. I'll come back to you another day.
So I realize you've already bought the PS2 version there, but do you know if the updated remaster or whatever from a couple years ago has the little experience slider thing that comes with the new ports of Persona?
I don't know if it has an EXP slider, but it does have an easy mode.
Maybe consider doing that since you're only like 2 bosses in.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm considering, because I'm on normal, which is the lowest difficulty,
That Nocturne port's super cheap
It's
as well.
normal
so,
or brutal. Like,
the Nocturne HD remaster is super cheap, at least here in the UK anyway. You could get a physical copy for like $10, so it's like it's not stupid expensive.
Yeah,
maybe that's
it's
the
the
way
kind
to
of
go.
thing where like the supplies are low, but the demand is lower.
Yeah,
like
it's not
even
too
the
bad.
PS2 version I picked up was like $15.
But
no one knows to ask for it.
That's what I just remember. I was like, oh, when Shin Megami Tensei 5 came out, I bought it because I was like, you know what? I like Persona. I'll give it a try. And I genuinely played it for like an hour, and I was like, this isn't for me. And I know Shin Megami Tensei 5 is not necessarily the best representative of the franchise, let's call it, because I know that people's opinions on it are kind of mixed, and people are really hoping this Vengeance version really kind of justifies it, kind of gives it a new lease on life.
But I'm probably going to pick up SMT5 Vengeance when it comes out.
100%. I think one of the things that'll make it a lot better is there's versions that aren't on the Switch, and again, that game ran like ass.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
That game ran pretty badly, so that's pretty cool that that's on Xbox and PS5 and PC now. That's cool. But no, I definitely think you should give it a try. I mean, I think if I think it's going to click with any of us out of the three of us, it'll probably be you.
Well, I know Hunter will never play because this is a game where you need to use buffs and debuffs.
Oh, you see, I would play it, and I'd play it, and I'd find a way to not do that. Would be my
good luck, Hunter. Good luck.
Because I'm not a cop.
It's literally impossible, dude.
Bet.
No.
Right.
No.
But good luck with that, Kyle. I wish you good luck and good hunting on your SMT journey.
I might go back to that eventually.
Fingers crossed. We've got time. We've got time, maybe.
We've got plenty of time, dude. Get filtered or get good. The PS2 Dark Souls game.
Oh dear. Hunter, what have you got for us? Any other games on your... Any other games you're dying to play?
This is one that constantly... Sometimes I just forget that it's available on something I actually have now. Ori and the Blind Forest / Will of the Wisps. Either of those. They both look rad. Like, I like Metroidvanias a reasonable amount for all of the ones I've played. And these have a cool art style. Yeah. These have a really cool art style. Aside from Hollow Knight, they're like the most talked about indie Metroidvania games of the past couple of years.
Yeah.
So,
beautiful game.
I'm like, yeah, they look real good. I constantly forget that they've come to the Switch. So, that's probably why I haven't played them yet, is because it's just always slipping my mind. But
you should definitely bring them to PlayStation as well. That should be like.
I'm surprised they aren't, honestly.
I'm also surprised they're not. Who knows? Maybe it'll be on Xbox's big massive plan of only bringing 4 titles, guys. We swear it's only 4. We swear it's only
That'll
4.
be what comes with Senua's Saga next year.
Hell yeah, dude. Double pack. That'll be a wild time. But now, I played a tiny bit of Ori, because I think I own Ori and the Blind Forest on Switch. Either I own it or I played the demo, because they had a demo released. And I played like the first hour, and I was like, oh, this is really moving and touching. I was like, oh, like the first intro is like it's very a moving introduction to it. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. And then I started playing and I realized it was a Metroidvania, and then I was moved in the opposite direction and closed the app.
Oof. Sad.
And I was like,
that's funny, but...
and I'm sure that it would be
this
the
man
Metroidvania that I can. Dude, let's be real.
Ori.
I was 14 when I played Guacamelee. I didn't realize it was a Metroidvania. I was stupid. I just played it.
He doesn't
like,
understand video game genres.
I just was like, haha.
It was like the kid who didn't realize Pokemon was anime.
Dude, I never knew Pokemon was anime, but I just like, because I was like Pokemon cartoon. I didn't ever go weeb shit or anything like that. I didn't know what anime was, right?
Yeah.
I did not know. I knew Dragon Ball. That was it. That's like literally it. And to me, I was just like, oh, that's a cartoon. Everything's a cartoon. But no, I feel like I would vibe with Ori if I gave it a try.
I think it's on the shorter side, if I remember correctly.
Definitely, if I remember.
So, I don't think you'll be cleaning it up as fast as like Metroid Dread or anything, but I think it's shorter than others, like Hollow Knight.
8 hours in length.
Yeah, that's shorter than Hollow Knight or Prince of Persia.
12-hour completionist, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man,
don't
look
know
at that.
about
12 hours for
Ori
a
and the
platinum.
Will.
Look at you go.
Well, there's no platinum because it's not on PlayStation. So
A platinum on the Nintendo Switch.
They'll give you a voucher to redeem for when it
God,
comes
could
to
you imagine if they ever
PlayStation.
could you imagine if they ever put achievements on the Switch? I'd be like turn into a goblin, dude. Absolutely.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
that's what I need. Maybe that's what I need. Some Dave the Diver trophies on achievements on Nintendo Switch.
Tears of the Kingdom plats
I
where
couldn't
it's
do it. I genuinely couldn't
collect
do it.
all the Koroks.
Oh,
Or else
I would actually cry. To be honest, that would be the most miserable experience. But no, I think Ori's a good shout because like I say, they're short, they're beloved.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one to have a look at.
I like things that are probably depressing, so
it was pretty sad. The first 5 minutes, the first 10 minutes was pretty sad.
It's right up my alley.
I'm looking at my list and I've got so much, like I say, JRPG stuff. Like genuinely, like again, I didn't play it last year. Weeb nonsense. I did I'll get some Atlas stuff out of the way here. I don't really have much to say about them, but they've been on my. Catherine has been on my list for a while. My friend played it. His quote was, "That's pretty horny," and then my friend who watched him play it was like, "That's very horny," and then that's all I know. I'm like, fantastic, good stuff. And people are like, "I like the
Catherine's
puzzles."
Cool.
Good for you. Persona 5 Tactica came out last year. Didn't play it.
I've got Persona 5 Tetris on here too.
And I heard
I have a copy of it too.
Oh hell yeah! High five for people owning that game and not playing it. Hell yeah!
Oh, I don't have it. I have it written down.
Get out. Have it get in the club or fuck off Hunter. Like, come on now. But no,
I could acquire it for like $20, so I've made the right move.
You could. But no, I like I've heard good things. I've heard the story's pretty decent for a spin-off, so I'm like, oh, interesting. Hopefully I'll get to it and play it eventually. But again, Persona 3's just come out. I need to go back and finish it. I'm a bit Persona'd out. Especially if the rumors are true that 6 is sooner rather than later. I'm like, This is what's funny. If you'd asked me like a year and a half ago, oh, Persona 6 is out in 2025, I'd be like, oh, that's so far away. Now I'm like, the last thing I need right now is more JRPGs. Can someone else release a game? I love you, Japan. Can someone else? Kingdom Hearts.
Those rumors are smoking something.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm hoping that they're wrong. Because the only JRPG I'll accept is Kingdom Hearts 4, because that's stupid and I would like to laugh. That'd be great.
I think it's time. I think it's time.
I think it's 2025. I think Kingdom Hearts 2025. I'm putting that on the table, dude. I think Season 5, it'll be out in Season 5. That's what I'm claiming. I'm putting that claim.
You think it'll be out in 2025 before March? The end of March?
I think it'll be I think it'll be in the January slot. I think it'll be that January slot again.
Yeah, because Cage 3 was out in like the middle of January in 2019.
Hell yeah. What I was going to say is the actual game that I'll talk about, Metal Gear. I want to get into Metal Gear at some point. I own the collection. Again, I feel like I'm saying a load of franchises like Dark Souls, continue with Yakuza, Metal Gear. I'm not going to sit here and make false promises of I'd like to play the entirety of Metal Gear this year. No.
To be fair, you could play that whole collection before you'd finish one of the Dark Souls or Yakuza games.
Probably. But I will say that I would like to at least play Metal Gear Solid 1 this year. That is my goal. Because I've always wanted to play it.
Soldier.
That's a good goal.
My Metal Gear has been something that has been a part of my life forever. Just I haven't played them. My dad is a massive Metal Gear fan. He has played every single Metal Gear since they started. Basically, he's like a huge fan. I don't know if I've told you guys this story. I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast before of how my dad used me as an excuse to get a PlayStation 1 when in reality he just wanted to play Metal Gear Solid.
Respect.
So,
priorities straight.
Yeah. So it's like I've seen every Metal Gear. I've watched my dad play every Metal Gear game. I just never have played them myself, so I feel like it's about time I change that. So Metal Gear Solid 1, I will play it this year, probably.
I always think it's interesting that MGS1 is on your list of backlog because I'm like, I played it a couple years back, mostly because I got tired of waiting for you to want to play it. But um, I don't know. I was talking with Hunter about it, and I'm like, I feel like that's not a game you're really gonna like.
Oh, and I probably
well, don't talk him out of it.
I'm not trying to talk him out of it. I think it's cool that he wants to try it, but like, it's an old janky PS1 game.
It is an
It's
old
true.
janky PS1 game, but I think the difference
That's
between
like your least
here's the
favorite
thing is,
things.
I feel like here's the difference, right? The reason
The
that I
whole will
don't-
be greater than the sum of the parts for this one.
Yeah.
Also, here's the thing is, I grew up in a time, and especially in the UK, where Final Fantasy wasn't that big. It wasn't as like people didn't talk about like at least my generation growing up didn't talk about Final Fantasy, right? So I never played it. So when I go back and play Final Fantasy 7, I have no attachment to Final Fantasy 7 other than going, "Unga bunga, this plays like crap." Sorry, Final Fantasy 7 fans. I love Rebirth. I love Remake. I'm having a great time. But Metal Gear does have that nostalgic attachment because yes, I haven't played it, but I've watched my dad play it countless times. I have that kind of nostalgic attachment in the same way of playing Crash Bandicoot or playing Spyro and stuff like that, where it's like I have enough nostalgia towards it where I feel like I'll overlook it being a bit janky as shit in comparison to other games that I have no nostalgia for, like Final Fantasy. So I wanted to give it a try. Maybe I will think of shit.
Maybe you'll come. Maybe you'll come to me after you play it, crying about the final battle, like Kane did, because it kept rolling him. I'm like, I don't know. Sounds like a skill issue to you.
It really
to me,
does.
because
So who
that was that one's always been easy.
Yeah, I legitimately don't know what his problem was. Either I got lucky or he was doing something wrong.
It's probably Kane's doing something wrong. Sorry, Kane, but you're terrible at video games. He won't watch it. Who cares? I'll just throw shade at everybody. It's fine.
That's the spirit.
Well, we got any more friends to bully?
Metal Gear
Season 5, the year of no guests, because they all hate us now.
I could go. Here's the thing, right? Is I made fun of Jack in that presentation because I knew for a fact he's the only one which will fucking watch this. He will watch that episode. He will see that, and I hope he enjoyed it because I had a blast photoshopping his face into different things. It was great.
I hope he's listening to this on mobile.
Oh, I hope.
And then
Jack,
he's like, "What do you mean Photoshop my face on something?"
Off you
then
go.
he has to
back
go
to the
back
video.
and watch the video.
Thanks for the 2 views, sucker.
You clown.
You a fool.
You absolute buffoon.
Kyle?
The entire circus.
You got anything else?
Yeah, last one.
Go for it. Last ones, last rounds.
It's another Final Fantasy.
Oh, you fucking weeb.
No, it's the funny one.
Oh, Final Fantasy's at Origin?
Origins, baby! Strangers of Paradise.
Chaos, it's time to kill chaos. I'm not even gonna say the game in the timestamp because it's time to kill chaos, dude.
The real ones will know.
Yeah. Dude.
But no, dude. The funny Chaos Man game. It's been on my list for a while, and after being disappointed by 16 and Rebirth, I'm like, I might as well just knock
this
it
is
out,
the
dude.
one that's going to bring it back.
Dude, it could be.
Fuck off.
I can't wait for
combat
this.
Looks a lot more fun, not gonna lie.
Kyle's gonna be like, this game better, and we're both gonna be like, no, tomatoes.
I'm like, oh, y'all, you should try this shit.
Stranger of Paradise looks like the meme would wear off within half an hour.
Yeah, it does. But
It's my
also,
assessment of the game.
It also just seems. I just want to know what it is, you know?
Stranger of Paradise looks like if Forspoken had a funny meme in it. But it's like, yeah, at the end of the day, it's like once that funny meme's out, like once we're over that hill, I'm like, do I want to really spend like 30 hours of my life playing this? Let's be real here. I don't know. Maybe I'll find out one day, but it's not like I'm not clamping at the bit for it. All I know is Jack is funny and he's here to kill chaos, so who cares, dude? More power to it.
Normie Craig and his Final Fantasy adventure.
My favorite thing was the first thing I saw from the Dragon's Dogma 2 character creator was Jack from Final Fantasy Origin, and it looked like they'd imported the model. It was that good. I'm like, wow, now he's here to kill chaos, dude. That's
it probably
crazy.
looked uncanny because it probably looked better.
It looked identical. Like, not even just like, oh wow, that's weird. It kind of looks like Danny DeVito. No, it did look like him, like from Jack from Final Fantasy. I'm like, that's crazy. Either that's a good character creator, or everybody looks like a Final Fantasy Origins character in that game, which 50-50 to be honest.
I've seen other people's like creations in Dragon's Dogma. I think the character creator looks like it's good.
Probably.
Yeah.
I believe it. Hunter, if you got one more game on your list, or a couple, if you've got a couple, say them now.
No, I've got a few, but I'll do the quick hits, I guess. Dead Cells is one I've been interested in for a while and haven't ever pulled the trigger on. I think this year would probably be a decent time to do that. Could buy the Return to Castlevania edition and do backflips over the idea of a new Castlevania game. The mere suggestion of it. I don't know how the Sly Cooper games, the 3 of those on the PS2, I want to try and get those and play them at some point. Probably get 4 sometime too, because
pressing that play button for PS2 classics to actually start being put in the put them on the PlayStation Store, that'd be fantastic.
I don't know. The PS3 collection, is that an acceptable way to play them?
That's a great way to play them. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I could just get it that way, assuming that they don't want my liver for it on the internet.
I don't think so. I don't think it's that expensive. I don't remember how expensive it is, though. PS3 games are like 50-50. They're either fucking no money or all the money.
Yeah, this is like a PS3 game, and it was also Western, so I feel like it's not exactly exceedingly rare. So
probably not. But no, if anything, I think the Sly collection is probably the best collection on PS3 of all the collection range that they did. Like, I definitely think it's the strongest in terms of the job that they did, because the Ratchet and the Jack ones were a bit janky at times, whereas this one was like completely solid. The worst thing you had was some of the 4x3 cutscenes had like weird widescreen stuff that didn't look that right, but other than that, it was all fantastic.
And then I guess the last like bigger one on the list would be Red Dead Redemption 2 is a game I've been putting off for years and want to rectify that at some point because it's looked cool. Like I said earlier, I like depressing things.
Dude, I love Rooty Tooty Cowboy Shooty 2. It's great. I love it.
Good old like, Red Dead garlic bread.
Yeah, it's so good.
Exactly.
I am I'm excited for you because it's like, I don't know. I haven't replayed that game. I haven't played it since 2018, but it is one of my favorite games of all time. It's like one of those. Was it stupid in many ways? Like, did they spend way too much time caring about horse physics and poop and all that jazz when you like all those stories that came out? Yes.
Gerald, people are dying.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like the story that it tells and all the side quests and the gang and all that jazz. It's like, it's, in my opinion, in terms of video game stories, everyone always fucking brings up The Last of Us. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is the best kind of story video game, quote unquote, where it's like actual narrative and characters. I'm like, that is the peak for me. I think Red Dead 2 is fantastic. I would pay all the money in the world for Rockstar to fuck off GTA 6 and make another Red Dead because I'm a selfish man and I don't care. Make it happen.
I second that.
I'd love it. I'd absolutely adore it. I'm going to love GTA 6 as well. But
these Grand Theft Auto clowns have been dealing with the same game for 11 years anyway. They'll deal with it for 11 more.
They'll live. They'll live. But no. That's fantastic. And my final one, can you believe it? It's another JRPG. Wow, that's really funny and quirky. Ha 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 ha. It's just because it's been on my list forever and I've said I wanted to play it. 13 Sentinels. Hunter died. Way to go.
Aneurysm.
Wow.
I did it.
Hunter, can you stop dying? Can you make it through a single podcast these days? My gosh.
I don't understand.
Being so dramatic, Hunter.
It was the Grand Theft Auto fans. They didn't like my slander, and you know what? I don't like your taste in games, so get over it.
Well, you're a horrible, horrible person. But no, 13 Sentinels is my final one. I've been wanting to play it for.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I almost made you play that for the thingy if we did it at the beginning of the year.
Yep, and that would have been fantastic. But alas, I have to play it.
You can still make him play it.
It's a bit of a waste because I'm probably going to play it anyway.
Yeah,
this year. It's a bit of a waste.
I don't need to do that.
But yeah, I think it looks great. It's, heavy story stuff. I can stick it on the easiest difficulty because I don't really give a shit about the gameplay. But
that's the spirit. The gameplay's a little lame.
Yeah, but I'm very excited for the story, and the art style's fantastic. So yeah.
Vanillaware got the good art style.
Hopefully I will be able to play it before it leaves the PlayStation Collection. Please don't leave this month. I'm still playing Final Fantasy. That would be fantastic. Can we give me that's literally the first game I'm going to play. Sounds like you need to
step on the gas.
The first game I'm not stepping on the gas, dude. I'm loving my time. This is the last game I'm playing this year. I'm just going to fucking revel in it. I'm petting every chocobo at that fucking bus stop, dude. I'm giving them all a pat on the back and giving their little cheeks a little fucking whatever Cloud does with his monitor. That's so funny when you turn the camera around and you just look at Cloud's face and he's got no emotion as he's sitting there patting the baby chocobo. It's really funny. But I'm loving it. I'm having the time of my life, and I'm not going to stop.
He probably sees like a really short and squat Sephiroth. It's why he doesn't have emotion.
I don't know if you ever gone up to the photo guy that's like takes a photo
I've
of
talked
you, and
to him
Cloud
a
does a
couple of
pose
times.
every time, and it's like the most out of character thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, you go, Cloud, you go. But no, it's all fun. Those are our backlog picks, then, guys. There you go. And with that, the first episode of season 5 is in the books, guys. We did it. We made a podcast episode. Can you believe it?
Another one.
Another one down.
51 more to go.
51 more to go. I can promise you I will not be making 51 presentations. That is not a thing. So
imagine if that just became a staple.
That is season 5.
The audio listeners would hate us.
It's true.
I said it before. I think it was fantastic for audio listeners too. They didn't miss anything other than Jack wearing a Burger King hat, so I think it was fine. Okay, I think it was good. But yeah, thank you for joining us for this first episode of season 5. Oh, I can do the thingy. I re-edited the thingy, didn't I? I can do that.
Oh, thingy. You
got
the thingy, Hunter.
Did you know the thingy? Did you know that
the thingy that we can clearly see?
You can go and follow us on. You can go and follow us on Twitter at Hot Gamers Only. Subscribe to us at youtube.com/Hot Gamers Only if you want to watch video versions and reviews and all that. And remember to find us on your favorite podcast service. Give us a follow on places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it. We're on it. Go check it out, dude. That thing, I was supposed to edit it for the past 2 seasons and I forgot to edit a new version. Now it's done. There we go. Perfect. Thanks for hanging out with us this week. Next week, who knows? Is there a game out? Cal can play iPhone Rush. Rise of the Ronin's that out? Poggers, that's great. We've got games, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic.
Yeah, next week's our March roundup.
Maybe I'll play the Princess Peach demo too. I don't know.
I wouldn't. I played like half an hour and went, yes. I'm seeing 7s. It feels fine, and then I found out it's the Yoshi's Crafted World people that made it, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Ethan's nemesis.
War flashbacks.
Crafted World.
Yeah, war flashbacks occurred, but it's fine. But yeah, we'll talk about these March game releases next week. But that's all for this week, I guess. Thank you ever so much for listening and watching and hanging out with us this week. We'll be back same time, same place next week for more. But yeah, until then, have an awesome week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.
Toodaloo.